welcome to Just Vibey Vibes. Woo. I don't know, today I'm just in a kind of mood. Okay. Welcome to our Raised in Africa series. And today we're talking about history. We will start with history as it pertains to our educational system. And then we're just going to talk about history as it pertains in general to even the Black community and mostly Africa. Because I think in America and some other places, like maybe the Caribbeans and all that, they do study a bit of their history, but their history mostly, I think maybe the reason why it is written down and why they study a bit about it, because it has to do with slavery, anything that maybe depicts the Black man in a negative light. That's why I think. But oh well, let's get into it. Okay, as I was saying, today we're talking about history. The first thing I want to talk about is this, right? I studied in a government secondary school. Not even a private secondary school where you would be like, okay, maybe the private schools, they don't want to teach history. I wasn't taught history. My sister was, so I think maybe my sister was 2 years ahead of me. So it's either the year before my one or just before my one. That was when history was cancelled in school. I think it was during the Obasanjo era that history was cancelled. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that I never studied history in school. So that is one thing whereby I didn't even know so many things about, like I don't even know the history that is like the recent ones, like the history that maybe is not up to 100 years old or that is not even up to 200 years old. I wasn't even taught that in school. I know that here they do, like, they have history, they have to learn this history, that history, one history or the other, but we don't even know our history. You see, a lot of times you see lots of Africans begging for colonialism to come back. They're like, oh, just give it to the white man, they will do well, or sell this country and divide the money. That's a Nigerian one. We talk about these things just because we do not even know our history. I have actually now done a lot of research on it. So at least I do know some history, but it is self-taught. Like I had to, by myself, do research on these things. But why would you not teach someone their history? They say if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know where you are coming from, then you're bound to make the same mistakes. You're bound to make the same mistakes. For instance, let me give an example. Like you live in a place whereby your forefathers, maybe they've gone out and rattlesnake bite them and then they die. I don't know why I use rattlesnake. I don't know. Like if rattlesnake is very, very poisonous, but that's what came to my mind, so that's what I'm using. And then there's a particular spot that they stand at, and then that snake comes, or like they have to be careful, there are things that they have to do, but that snake has been biting people over and over. And then for some reason now you're not telling the next generation, nobody told them that, don't go to there, don't stand that way. What do you think is going to happen to them? Rattlesnake will continually bite them because they don't know. So I really need to understand, why do we not learn our history in schools? Because I know that is not done anymore in schools in Nigeria. I don't know if other African countries still do it, but I know that in Nigeria we don't. And let's even start with the history that we learn is not even our complete history, or would I say our true history. Like it is kind of like a bit whitewashed. But give us the whitewashed one, let us learn. Because if not for, there's this show that is on Netflix, something of an African colony. It's about Nigeria. That show tells you about like how Nigerians were a lot. Like Nigeria was a big part of the slave trade, meaning that they were trading lots of Nigerians were slaves, and they would have maybe been some of them, they ended up in Barbados and all that. I have actually read something once where they talked about the Igbo maybe being from Barbados. I think someone was saying that because they said Rihanna looked Igbo, and then they brought that history out. I remember reading that somewhere on the internet. But what I'm saying is that, do we really know that we were part of the slavery? If I did not, I know that the Black people, sometimes you read some things and then you think that it doesn't have to do with you. You know what I mean? It has to be somebody from a far. It's not your forefathers. It's not your ancestors. It's not your, maybe even your grandfather that was taken away, or your father. Like, not your father per se, like your, they could take the father and leave the child. So maybe, you know what I mean? Like, your ancestors are there. You don't even think about it that deep. There's so many things we don't learn. Like, we make history to be something that is not important. And that is why we even have this forgetfulness mentality, whereby something will happen and we don't take it serious. We don't even take note of it. Nobody is looking at it, and then we'll make the same mistakes over and over again. Like, look at the killings. Forget even about the ones about the whole SARS thing. Like, during this whole SARS period, that was when people that were older and people that have lived, people that have been in the struggle trying to, change, trying to effect change in Nigeria, they were talking about, like, the strategies. I have one of those in my Instagram. I think actually 2 of those in my Instagram. But then it's like, people really believe that you can raise the flag and the military is not going to kill you. Because why? We do not know our history. And that history is not even that old. We didn't know what they did in Benin, that they killed people then. Yes, there was no camera there was no social media like the way it is now for it to be filmed. I get that. But what about words of mouth? What about people? People don't tell people. Nobody, like, everything, a lot of our things are just dying. Like, our medical system is just dying, like the herbs, for instance. Like, you see the Chinese, the Asian people, the Indian, they still have their great grand mother's recipe. They have cold, they know the soup to cook, to take for the cold to leave them. When we have cold, what do? We go to the chemist to find paracetamol or whatever, or I don't want to call any brand, whatever cold and flu medication to take. Do we go to our kitchen and find something to cook that is going to help us, heal us? Few people do, but majority of us don't, because we don't even know. Like, we have, like, people, I'm telling you, if you have a grandmother, you have a great grandmother that's alive, go and meet them, let them teach you everything that they know as much as possible. Absorb it, write it down. You need it. Because we just let our history die. Like, as I was saying in the beginning, I was talking about, like, you see lots of Nigerians and Africans on social media asking for their colonial master to come and take over again, or the previous colonial master to come and develop, to come and recolonize us. Consider that we're under neo-colonialism, but they don't know that. But they want the proper colonization, like the physical one. Do you know what colonialism is? Do you understand what people had to go through during colonial time? Have you asked your grandmother that was alive during that time how things really, really were? It is like being a slave in your own house. There were people that were being killed. If they don't, their children will be killed if they don't meet the quota of whatever that they are supposed to produce. People's hand was being cut off. Is that not why in Belgium they have this chocolate that is like the hand chocolate? It was, I think, in memorial of the man that used to cut people's hand off, the children's hand off if the father does not meet the quota. You need to do your research on all these things. To be honest, I did not even intend to take this history Raising Africa to that. If not, I would have just maybe found the name and everything. I can still do that anyway. I'll put it somewhere here in the video. So I'm gonna put the name. I'll find that out and I'll put the name of the man and maybe some pictures, some images. As I'm talking like this, the images will just be showing, so that maybe, I don't know if 1 or 2 people can see it, so that they can just wake up. But it is so much that people, like, I watch all these videos, I read books on this and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, the what is this story of an African colony, something of an African colony in on Netflix. If you have Netflix, please try and watch it before maybe it's no longer there, because Netflix, they have contract and they have a particular time that all those things can be there. But if you have it, please, I'm going to find the name of that and I'm going to put it, because I know it's something of an African colony, but please watch it. Just try and open your mind, try and read. If you don't like to read, listen. There's YouTube, there are channels that are for these things. Find those channels, watch one. When you watch one, 2 will come and YouTube will start giving you suggestions of videos that are like that, so that way you would be able to, you know, educate yourself. If you don't like to read, then watch, listen, you know. Now we have teachers for not for free per se, if you're buying your data, and even if you're not, like, you already have Wi-Fi or something, you're still, someone is paying for it, but it's not, you know, that bad. But please try, open your brain, learn, so that you don't go and spew rubbish on the internet. You don't go and write things whereby it's like you are carrying your hand and say, chain me please. Why would you want to do that? Why? Are we not capable? Is it not from Africa that from a Nigerian girl that just won the maths whatever contest? I don't know if I can find. I have the video on that, but I was thinking of doing it in my other channel where I just talk about it, because some things have happened. So other channel, other video. Yeah, I'm gonna have another video that is gonna have some things that have happened, and then I'm gonna have that video there so that you can see it. So we do have brains. Like, most things are even done by us. Most of the things you see was created by us. In case you don't know, internet banking was created by Kenyans, 2 Kenyans. I think it's Kenyan, but it's Africans. 2 of them, they sold it. The internet mobile banking, what I think both of them, or one of them, probably, yeah, but they're the same thing, isn't it? Yeah, was created by them. But so we do a lot of things. We do a lot of things, but you know, so we're not stupid. We just, I don't know if I don't know what the problem really is. But yeah, I'm digressing like big time. Let's go back to our history. I don't want to make this video very long, but please teach history in our schools. Let our children learn it from primary school, from nursery school. The primary school children in the UK are learning history. They're learning different kind of history, but they're learning history. The history of this, history of that. They're learning all these things from primary school. Because history is important. Tell the story, the true story. Let us understand really, how was colonial times? What really happened in colonial times? Please watch that Netflix movie if you can. It tells a lot on that. But we need to really learn. Because if you even watch that video, it will even make you have a bit of, will give you compassion to the Fulani people. Like the people in the north. You kind of see why the system is the way it is, why most of them are left poor, and then few of them are left very, very rich. Because that was where Lord Lugard really focused on first. So he really, really destroyed that, because he didn't want no development at all. Like, you need to watch this to see. But we need our history. Please open your mind. They need to teach in our education. They don't teach it. Our parents, our grandparents are not passing it through. If they are, I don't know how many are. But if they're not, please, because if our grandparents have been saying it, then our parents will say it to our children. Then that way it would have gone. You know what I mean? It would have been something that have been passed down and passed down and passed down. I know religion is good, but the way, you know what I mean, the way we pass down the Bible and the Quran and every other thing that we believe in, we would have been passed down through down generations, and then people will not be this ignorant. That's the right word. People will not be this ignorant. Someone that does not know their history is bound to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. So if you know what is good for you, go find out about your history. Go learn. Even if you can't find out about your own, find out about anyone, any black people. Just start so that you start getting, maybe in case you feel less than, in case you feel like the white man is better than you. I don't know why you should feel that way. But in case you mistakenly do feel that way, at least you understand that nobody is better than you. Let's start there. And then you start seeing the things that you have, that over the years, things that you've been able to do. When I mean you, I'm talking about your ancestors, because the blood is still a bloodline and it still flows in our veins and all that. We have to do better. Please, learn your history. I don't even know what I know I've talked about history, but I think I've digressed a lot in this video. But I hope this pushes you to watch YouTube videos on history and things like that. Learn, read books. There are books, but I can put some names of books. Yeah, I could do that. I don't know if you want me to put some names of books, put it in the comment section, then I'll put that. Okay. Confession of an Economic Hitman is a very good book if you want to see how neocolonialism works and how our economy is continually destroyed while some other people's economy is doing very well. Please read that book, Confession of an Economic Hitman. I'm going to put that down there. And if you want any other books that you want to read, please let me know, because I don't just want to put books about that nobody's going to read. So if you want books, comment and I will give you some names of books. I'll see you some other time. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.